I'm Marion Souter, Superintendent of Casey County Schools, and I want to share just a little bit, I guess, of our journey to be tobacco-free schools, campus, from my perspective. I accepted the position as superintendent in July of 2013, and soon after, Jelaine Harlow from Lake Cumberland Health Department approached me about the possibility of Casey County Schools going tobacco-free. And I'll be honest, I was for the initiative, but just accepting the position, it probably wasn't the best timing for me because my board and I were still trying to form that relationship. And I told Jelaine that yes, I would support this initiative. So soon after, we made a presentation to the board, and it was mostly an awareness orientation of the concept.
I'm Jelaine Harlow. I'm a health educator with Lake Cumberland District Health Department, and I cover Casey County. I also work with the Casey County Youth Coalition. On November the 13th, 2013, we went to the school board and asked if they would support us in writing a Healthy Communities grant to begin the process of educating the community on what a tobacco-free school actually was. With these funds, the Health Department, Kentucky ASAP, and school personnel began the process of changing community norms related to tobacco use in Casey County. We gathered information, we did surveys. 1 year later, we went to the school board with support letters from the community and surveys that showed 70% of the parents surveyed wanted tobacco-free schools. On November the 10th, 2014, we went back to the Casey County School Board, and with only one member in opposition, they enacted a 100% tobacco-free school policy to begin the 2015-16 school year. Passage of a 100% tobacco-free school policy does not mean that immediately there's no tobacco use on the school campus. Many tobacco-free schools in Kentucky struggle with this issue, and Casey County was one of them.
So we had a little bit of transition time after that November of 14 before we actually implemented the tobacco-free schools in July of 2015, because we really had to do an awareness with our staff and our community. This is a farming community, and tobacco has helped provide a livelihood for many folks in this community. It's helped them build houses and send their students to schools, and so many benefits were made from tobacco. So we really tried to make the initiative and the communication that this was nothing about the smoker, it was about the smoke. When I began talking to students about what are things that you would like to see different at your school, the smoking in the restroom was always at the top of the list. I don't like to go into our restrooms because I come out smelling like smoke. So we knew we had a lot of student support with this initiative. And during that same time, we qualified for a drug-free community grant, and that really was able to be, I guess, the catalyst for this initiative. It provided us some monetary support, but it also allowed us to start a structure of getting the voice from our students. So they developed a youth coalition, sort of training them through that rest of the remainder of that year, and then they started fresh in that 15-16 year.
I'm Joshua Blevins. I'm principal at Casey County High School. This is my 6th year as lead principal here at Casey County High. Being in Casey County, tobacco has been a lifestyle, a cash crop, if you will, for many years. I remember as a student, as I attended high school here, we actually had smoking areas for students and teacher use. And that's the primary reason I wouldn't take our vocational classes while I was a student. I didn't want to walk through the smoking room. So that being my past experience with that, moving forward to the position I'm in now, I knew that our students deserved more than what we had to offer.
My name is Amy Weddle, and I work for the Adonta Regional Prevention Center. As a part of my work, I work with the Casey County Kentucky ASAP Board and help them with their prevention efforts around substance abuse prevention. Also, as a part of that work, I work with their Casey County Youth Coalition, or the CYC. As a prevention specialist with the RPC, part of my job is to work with communities around building capacity for substance abuse prevention work, training, and technical assistance. As a part of my work with the RPC, I also work for the Kentucky YES Youth Empowerment System. Through the YES Committee, we provide funding opportunities for Kentucky high school youth groups to work on substance abuse prevention efforts in their community and in their schools.
My name is Nikki Weddington, and I am the advisor for the Casey County Youth Coalition at the Casey County High School. I became the advisor in 2016, and when I took the role as the youth advisor for the Casey Youth Coalition, my goal was to help the students have a voice. I'm sure if you talk to any of the students that have been in the coalition, they would tell you I have said that numerous times. No matter what we're addressing, no matter who we're talking to, I want them leading that. I've tried very hard to make sure that it was not another adult-led group. I wanted the kids to learn how to effectively address a problem, how to feel confident in their ability to gather information so that they can support the ideas that they have or the changes that they want to make, and how to move forward in an appropriate manner to get the things that they want change done and to get their voices heard.
We, number one, look at the data, because the data always tells us where we need to go. And from that, we can build plans, and the CYC has done that. They have taken the initiative, and they have done the hard work behind the scenes to make sure that what they do has a basis and a foundation. And also, I've seen the work that they've done. They've really been passionate about it and committed to it. And I'm just proud to see that, the work that they are doing is making a difference.
I'm Savannah Owens, and I'm a secretary for Casey Youth Coalition, also known as CYC at Casey County High School.
My name is Chelsea Griffin. I'm a member of CYC, and I'm a student here at Casey County High School in Liberty, Kentucky.
Casey Youth Coalition is basically a group of students that have come together recently to join together and figure out problems inside our school and our community that we can find solutions to and fix along the way.
We are sponsored by Casey County, Kentucky ASAP. Our first meeting was in August of 2015.
And we try to meet every club day, which is once a month. But then if we have any other specific things that we need to get done, we would schedule a special meeting for those with the committees that have volunteered to help with those situations. We are funded through Kentucky ASAP and grants such as DFC, which is the Drug Free Communities Grant. And we also apply for a grant called the YES Grant, which is Youth Empowerment.
I'm Gracie Johnson, an active member of the Casey Youth Coalition at Casey County High School.
I'm Callie Lawson, and I'm an active member of CYC at Casey County High School.
We're going to talk about our logo, and basically we had to make a logo because whenever our name started getting out there, we really needed something for people to put with the Casey Youth Coalition to remember. We didn't fully understand who we were as a coalition either, so whenever we got that logo out into the community, it really helped us to realize who we were as a coalition.
We created our logo for sustainability and for the future youth coalition members that are going to come up after us. We are actually displayed in a few places throughout our community. I know we have a sign on our main strip at the bypass. It's our CYC logo, of course, and then we also have one down at the football field and then in different places just throughout our school.
My name is Austin T. Horn, and I'm the president of the Casey Youth Coalition. Marketing is also a large part of coalition work. Whenever we went to Smoke Free Kentucky, a conference up in Lexington, we realized that we didn't really have anything to get our name out. So we came up with a banner design, and we now put that up whenever we go to conferences or whenever we're having meetings or whenever we're just out in the community doing work so that people know who we are and what we're doing. So my role as the president is to be the leader of the group. I run the meetings, and sometimes I have to make executive decisions with my team of other officers, and those decisions are made based on our logic model. We first learned about the logic model at a CATCA training where they came and taught us about a logic model and how that we can use it in our coalition. A logic model consists of 3 parts, and it is what is the problem, and why it's a problem, and why it is a problem here. We chose tobacco to be our focus through our logic model. So our problem was whenever we came in, we noticed that tobacco use in our high school was still going on, even though it was a tobacco-free campus. So that was our problem. And while it was a problem, we had to look in a little bit deeper. And through that, we had to find data. We had to find data through our school's KIPP survey. And whenever we used up all of that data, we still had missing links. So to fill those missing links, we went and did a student survey, and that was done by a few of our other members.
As we wrote our logic model, we realized that we had problems with tobacco use on our campus, but we just didn't have the data to back it up. So as a coalition, we made a survey to answer the questions that we needed to be answered.
And then while we done that, we came up with a different committee, of course, and we came up with a series of questions that we thought would help gather more effective data for, I guess, our logic model and different things in our community that we could use that data for.
Some specific questions were, what are hotspots on campus for tobacco use? Is it acceptable in your household? And where are you getting your tobacco from?
Working with the Youth Coalition, one of the emphases they had was to change the perception students had about smoking on campus. They elected to do a photo voice essay where they would go around the campus and take different photos that were frequented by student smokers. It may be a restroom, and it may be behind a back door. They gathered pictures around our campus, and so we started talking about what message do we want to send with this. Do we want to emphasize the negative choices that students are making, or do we want to try to turn that and flip that to present a very positive issue?
I'm Melissa Jones, and I am the current treasurer of CYC at Casey County High School.
I'm Delaney Sowers, and I'm the current vice president of CYC at Casey County High School. Oh, I would have to say our biggest project of the year has been Photo Voice. And Photo Voice is a way to show your problems through pictures and captions. It really helped us show the community that tobacco was a problem not only at our school, but in the community as well. We started with training. 2 trainers flew down from Washington, and they were from the National Youth Leadership Institute.
We went throughout our community and our school to take pictures to use in the Photo Voice project, and we learned how to put captions to them, and we did have some negativity to the captions. Some of our champions found that the captions had a negative outlook on it, so we switched some of the wording around to make it more of a positive.
When they would present their essay to me, I would try to censor some of the things that they may be trying to showcase, certain areas in the school. And while they were very determined and headstrong in their issues, I appreciate those efforts. They did see that the way they present is ultimately the way that it's going to be taken and responded to.
In this picture, you see our school bathrooms, and it has a cigarette in the commode, and then you have a cigarette pack right there. We showed this to our school principal, and he felt like we had made it seem that the school was very unclean. So we had to change the wording to, despite being a tobacco-free campus, tobacco always finds a way into our school. The problem is so bad, the daily clean bathrooms show signs of tobacco use by mid-morning. We need to eliminate this problem in order to respect our school policies, custodians, teachers, and peers. And when we showed it to him next time, he was happy with our positive outtake on it.
So this picture was taken in a local coffee shop downtown Liberty, and we found that they were selling candy cigarettes. Well, candy cigarettes seem to be a norm here in Casey County because we have a lot of tobacco farmers, and we found adults smoking cigarettes, so as a child we thought it would be cool to have candy cigarettes to act like we were smoking them as kids. Our caption is, tobacco use is so normalized in this community that from a young age it is culturally acceptable to use. Even our candy is making tobacco seem fun and desirable to kids. After this picture was taken, we found that the local business took the candy cigarettes out of the store. And since this, we have found out that we have a voice in the community and we can make a difference.
This picture shows a local gas station, and in the picture you can see that there is child's candy brought by the cigarette. And our caption was, "Tobacco is easily accessible for the young people in our community. Tobacco products are placed up in front of store by the candy, making it seem just as normal and easy to get tobacco products as it is to get candy."
This picture shows some tobacco items that have been confiscated by our student resource officer. And our caption is, "This shows a collection of items confiscated by our school on any given day. While we appreciate the effort of school staff and administration, students continue to not honor our tobacco-free policy and efforts made to enforce this policy."
After we completed Photo Voice, we realized that we had to get it out there. We had to get the message and the project out to the world for people to see the work we were doing. We presented Photo Voice at the Casey County ASAP meetings, the Board of Education. We went to the middle school and did a presentation there. And then finally, to our surprise, we were asked to present our project at Catica Forum in Washington, D.C., which Chelsea and I did together.
So our school tobacco policy is that first offense, your tobacco gets taken away and you go to our school's ISS. Second offense is you have to go through an educational class. We're currently looking for someone to teach the content because we don't have anyone right now. And third offense, you go to our alternative school. We're working with our school nurse to implement the class because it has a cessation part to the program. We're hoping that with this part of the class, they won't have to go to our alternative school.
We understand some students may be going through withdrawals, so CYC has furnished candy to put in the nurse's office, so if kids are having withdrawal symptoms, they can go down there and get some candy.
So one of the main outcomes we had out of this project was we built better relationships with our champions. Another outcome was we strengthened our school policy on tobacco. And our 2016 KIPP School Survey showed tobacco use for 30 days decreased by 10% in 10th graders.
Another outcome was increased hall monitoring, and we also had a window installed where there was a hot spot for tobacco use.
It was definitely intimidating getting in front of all of those champions when we really didn't know them at first. I remember my first time I was around the superintendent and the board, we presented our Photo Voice project to them. I went in there and there was a room full of important people in suits, and they're all staring at you, and you didn't really know what to say, but at the end they all just loved the project and they gave us so much feedback and support and love for it, and that was just really cool of them.
Champions are such an important part in what we do. Without people that are behind you, the things that you want to accomplish will most likely never get where you want them to be. Our champions have really, especially this year, have really gotten behind what we are doing and what we want for the school because they really want the same thing.
Some of our champions are our superintendent, our principal, our club's advisor, and just people in the community who has really got behind our club and given us so much support.
We have had great success. We are seeing our survey results showing that the benefits of going tobacco-free. But with that still comes many challenges. We are continually reminding folks, whether it be PSA announcements at our athletic events. A lot of times we'll have visitors from other districts who will come in for events that may or may not understand that we are a tobacco-free campus. Our students, they have responded well. We still have pockets that we still need to work with. The different grants with the ASAP committee has really allowed us to start targeting issues that students see with the smoking. The data is showing the initiative is working. In our 16 KIPP survey, 16% decline from 8th graders who said that they've used tobacco products in the last 30 days. Our staff, again, we have offered cessation classes for them to support them if they felt like they had a nicotine addiction, and we've had a few take advantage of that as well.
So for principals out there wanting to know, do I give students in my building a voice? Absolutely. Principals out there that may be getting this message. Find the leaders in your building, give them a purpose, and empower them.
Casey Youth Coalition is youth voices solving problems one step at a time.
CYC is prevention.
CYC is changing your social environment.
CYC is changing the norms.
CYC is youth empowerment.
CYC is making an impact.